What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video. I'm out here in my apartment out in Metro Manila in the Philippines, and it's just gonna be a simple video here. You know, while a lot of foreigners, they move to the Philippines, a lot of them choose to stay in Manila, but most of the foreigners, they prefer to live in the province, you know, by the beach, the mountains, everything, because the Philippines has over 7,000 islands, and it's pretty attractive, you know, for anybody who wants to come here. But me, I prefer to stay in the city over here. And you guys are wondering why, because I got a lot of people saying, why did you choose Metro Manila? Or why not live in the province? You know, you have a better lifestyle and everything. Well, everybody's different. There's likes for everybody, you know. I have my own personal likes. And in this video, I'm gonna explain a little bit more why did I chose to live here in the BGC area in Metro Manila in the Philippines instead of the province. So we're gonna go outside the street and do a little walk and talk video, show you what's happening out here, the events, and that way you get an idea why me personally chose to stay here in the city. So without further ado, join me. Well, I'm out in the streets, and before I walk and I explain, I just want to put a disclaimer. This is just my personal choice, you know, not trying to tell everybody you have to do it my way. Everybody's different. If the province, you know, a quiet area, that's the lifestyle that you want, then go for it, you know, power on. For me personally, I'm a city person. I love cities. I love skyscrapers. I like where the action is. You know, I love exploring different types of neighborhoods. And that's something that I can find here in Metro Manila. I like the province too, but only for visiting. You know, if I get tired of Manila, I can always hop on a plane, and within an hour I'll be in a beautiful paradise like Boracay, Bohol, many areas and stuff. But me living over there is not really like my cup of tea, because I'm always pretty active and hyper, you know. So I don't like when routine is repetitive. And I feel like if I was to live like in the province of quiet lifestyle, I feel like my lifestyle will be actually repetitive. But meanwhile, here in the city, there's always something going on. I can walk and I can take a grab. If I was to live like in somewhere like more quiet, I would need a car or a motorbike just to get to the nearest closest convenience store. So that's also another thing about here. And yes, I know a lot of people say, but you could pay a cheaper price living, you know, like in the province or other areas. And yeah, that's true, but sometimes like they say, you pay what you get for it. Personally, me, I'd rather pay for convenience, fun, you know, and have all the amenities that I have out here. Like I said, I'm not too far from the airport. I'm very close to the immigration, so I can extend my visa, because I'm a foreigner here and I gotta obey by the rules. But Metro Manila has a lot to offer me, even though a lot of people, they don't like it over here. Of course, there's tons and tons of neighborhoods, but you just gotta know where to go and what to pick out here. Today is Sunday in BGC, and they're having like a pickleball event by 5th Avenue. They had it yesterday and today, but I missed it yesterday because it was raining and I came a little bit late, but I'm gonna see if I can catch it and see what's going on. The sun is hitting me here pretty hard, but that's okay. At least it's not super, super hot, because supposedly yesterday it rained, and then it's kind of like in between. It's supposed to drizzle today, but that's good, you know. I think rainy season is approaching. But then another cool thing is not just the cities, everything that it offers. Like I say, I'm on my way to check out to see if they have a pickleball event. And this is a thing, like almost every weekend in these neighborhoods, they have like some special events going on, like exhibition for all people, you know. They got sometimes, a few weeks ago, they had a Star Wars event. Last week, I forgot what they had, but they always have something going on that you could check out. But that's something that I don't think I could find in the province. They might offer, you know, some type of events, but not many like they do over here. And then not too far from here is Makati. So I'm probably gonna hop later in the Grab and head towards Makati, because in Paseo de Rojas, which is right next to Ayala, they have also like a little French festival, like cuisines, desserts. And last week they had like an event called Mabuhay, which is a beer festival, and I went there and it was actually fun. So that's another thing about the city. And I'm only like a 10-minute, 15-minute drive away from Makati. Today is Sunday, so there shouldn't be no type of traffic jam, so easily I should be there. But I want to check out what's happening in Bonifacio Global City, and then I'll hit in the other side. Here we got the SNR, which is kind of like the Sand Club's the Filipino version. I'm going this way, because this way I feel like I could shortcut faster towards High Street and 5th Avenue if you're coming through uptown area. Now it got better, because now in 7th Avenue they build a road, a shortcut. Before, you would have to go 8th or 9th Avenue from uptown just to get to High Street. But now they built like that new road, so it's pretty easier for you to shortcut. I'm gonna head over here. I don't think there's anything going on. I'm trying to see if I see something from a distance. I guess it was only yesterday that they had the pickleball event. Let me see, but I'm still a little bit far. Yeah, trying to see. Oh no, I see some tents over there, so maybe they do have a little something. So we're gonna see what's happening on a Sunday, beautiful day in Bonifacio Global City, and then we're probably gonna take the Grab towards Makati to see what's going on in the French festival that they have today. So this literally explains, why I chose to live here in the city instead of the province or, quiet area. So it was cloudy earlier, but now the sun is coming out and the heat is starting to kick in. But like I said, I'm gonna check out over there. The good thing about over here is that they have a lot of ceilings that I can protect from the weather. Here we have a beautiful mural over here. There are a couple of street arts throughout Bonifacio Global City. And then this is 5th Avenue. Like I say, this is a faster way for me to shortcut from uptown, the area that I live, into the High Street area. And they do have something by the mini Times Square where they got that cap and the neon light in the buildings. Probably gonna be busy today because it's Sunday, people come out here on weekends, but no matter what day of the week you come, it's always busy here in Bonifacio Global City. Like I say, I'm a city person, so I would never get bored of walking these streets every day with these buildings and seeing the action. Like I like to be in places where there's action happening, like people going on about their lives, where I can find inspiration, where there's like tons of restaurants for me to explore. So that's why I kind of chose also to live in Metro Manila and not somewhere else. But like I say, the beauty about the Philippines is that they have so many landscapes, many islands, so within a short distance, if you get bored of the same scenery, you can just hop in the plane, go to the beach, go in the mountains or rent a car and drive a couple of hours away, Tons of great cities all over, Luzon, Mindanao, and the Visayas region. So here they have the streets shut down. I'm not sure if they're setting it up for later or that I came a little bit late, but we'll see. So I guess a little bit of a fail. This is where they had, I guess the best thing was yesterday. I think they had a couple of influencers too from Instagram and TikTok that were here playing pickleball. But today is nothing. I do see a couple of things ahead of me, but like I say, I'm not sure if later on they'll set up something. Seems like today's more like of a football than pickleball. But it just gives you an insight of what you can find, in different business districts throughout the metro part of Manila. And then you got this over here. What is that, like a bike? Yeah, it's pretty quiet out here today and then High Street. But later it'll get busier because the weather cools down. Like right now it's very hot for people to just be hanging out here. Let me see what's on the other side. And then here, never get bored of this view. There's also like another exhibition over there. It was closed because I walked past 10 o'clock. But I'm gonna walk over there to see if anything is open and see what's going on. But I think there's gonna be more action actually in Makati. So I'm gonna figure where can I catch a Grab later and head towards there. I think it's roughly like about 10 minutes, like I say. It's not too far from here, and today is Sunday, so there shouldn't be no traffic in that side. This is it right here, the pickleball event. So people are gonna compete in it. They have like, I guess it's like a little semi-market, a little bit of exhibition. Not too busy now, but you can see there is things happening over here, so it's good to know that the humidity is starting to kick in. So now I'm gonna find a spot where I can catch the Grab so I can head towards Makati and see the market that's happening over there. I think almost every weekend they do like markets near Ayala, and then every Saturday, I think it is, they do the Salcedo market, which is early in the morning until noon. And I did went there, but I wasn't able to film it, but it gets actually pretty busy. And I'm trying to figure where can I go and find a good spot so I can get the Grab and it'll take me into Makati. I think I'm just gonna head back towards the lobby of my condo. That's probably the easiest spot for me to catch a Grab, put in the location and then head towards Paseo de Rojas and Makati. So now that I think it, this is actually the new road that I told you, 7th Avenue. Still new, and then not sure they're gonna build like condos or apartments over here, but I forgot what used to be over here that before, if you were staying in Uptown and you wanted to go behind me towards High Street, you have to go all the way to 8th or 9th Avenue. But now they built this road over here, so it's easy for you to connect towards the other side of Bonifacio High Street, because it's actually a big district. It's another cool thing about living in Manila. But I'm not saying, you know, even many other parts of the Philippines, they have malls, but here in Metro Manila, I have access to many mega malls. Here in BGC, we have a couple of malls, and then you go to Makati, they got like 3 or 4 more big malls, you know. So you can walk from one mall to another one and get some aircon and see a city indoors. Here I am waiting for the Grab. Should be coming like in about 2 minutes. So pretty easy. So that was easy, like 9-10 minute drive from Bonifacio Global City here to Ayala Avenue, Makati. And this is Ayala Triangle Park, but I'm gonna walk by Paseo de Rojas because that's where they have apparently the event. But there's something going on in Ayala Triangle too. Not sure if it's like a race or something, but I'll check it out in a bit because Paseo de Rojas literally connects you with Ayala Triangle Park. So far, I feel like the weather is cooling off a little bit, you know. But it's still very humid, and now the sunset's gonna fall like in about probably 30 minutes. The underpass, wow, they really painted up. The last time I came, which was about 2 weeks ago, it was in blank, but now they're developing it nice. So they beautify the area. And then if you merge over here, you can see how nice it is. Yeah, I love this concept that they got going on, you know. Pretty well planned city. And now once I head up, we're gonna see what's happening in Paseo de Rojas. Funny because they write it with an X, but they pronounce it like if it's with a J, Rojas. Like it would be like Paseo de Rosas, but they pronounce Paseo de Rojas. So a little bit of a Spanish concept out here in Tagalog. And over here you see parts of Ayala Avenue. This is another business district, not too far from where I live, you know. And then we got Ortigas, and this explains, you know, the point of the video, why I love living out here. Because of all this that it got going on. Oh, well, where's that event? So I guess it's inside Ayala Triangle Park. Well, I thought it was the whole street closed, so it seems like that French event is happening inside the park. So hopefully, hopefully the guards don't be upset at me for filming like it happened last time. But if anything, I'm just gonna take the tripod off and go like a little bit incognito to film. You stay in the city, this is all you get right here. Balance, everything, and you see? So this is why I love living in Metro Manila. Well, I chose to stay here because I feel like there's so much going on and I would never get bored. And I could just go out for a walk, I can vlog, or I could go try out some of the restaurants, or attend, you know, these events over here that are pretty nice and they help out with the community. Also, I see it from right now, is one side of the road. There's 2 lanes, there's one side that is closed for this event. I thought it was inside the park, so that's cool. So let's check out what they have here, you know. The food, the option, the pastries. It's mostly like a French festival, and they do a lot of international festivals in Makati, also in Bonifacio Global City. Like I said, a couple of months ago, they did the first Latino festival, and I thought that was epic. And I'm here by the market. There's more going on in the inside, so I'll probably take a peek. But let's see what's happening here in the street festival. So they got this here. Let me start with this back area. So now they got some gelato. Then they set up the sitting area for people to sit down, eat. Just mostly basic Filipino joint, but I'm gonna walk over here to see what can I find. I think later at night it gets busier because this ends around 10 o'clock. And here they got this, a couple of natural juices. People lining up. What they sell here? Coffee. So pretty chill. I just want to see. Oh, I see some of the breads. Let's see if I can get like a little close up over here. We got this. So we got like a bakery over here. So some of the cookies. Sorry. Then you see how they got the French flags divided over here. It's very humid. So most of the things that I'm seeing here is literally wine. I think wine, you know, France is specialized pretty much in good wine out here, so good to know. And they got some natural juices that you get in every other festival, but if you guys know me, I'm a fan of exploring different festivals, no matter what city or country I go. But right now it's pretty chill, not much going on. Here they got food, the Eiffel Tower, let me see. What's this? Oh, it's like croissant, nice. And this is what they specialize over here, food and everything. Oh, pretty chill event, but it's very humid, man. I guess the more I go into the crowds, the humid it gets. And it seems like when it rains, it gets actually more humid, but that's actually the norm right here in Metro Manila in the Philippines. But yeah, pretty simple festival. I'm probably gonna walk a little bit around Ayala Avenue. The point of this video was to tell you, why did I chose to live here in the Manila area and not, in the province. Because a lot of people are like, the province life is better. You could get, better quality of life for your money. But me personally, this is the lifestyle that I want. I like the city life. I like to be where the action is. I feel like there's a lot of inspiration when I stay out here. A lot to do, a lot of content I can make out here in the city and try my best to promote Metro Manila. And then you see what's going on here. So pretty simple, pretty simple, the festival. And pretty nice, just tents, mostly pastries, wines, and a lot of French product out here. And you have the little statue of Eiffel Tower and the festival in Rojas. And now I'm inside Ayala Triangle. It's like a picnic, people sitting out here enjoying their day. And then they got some more exhibitions out here too. And some music ahead. And then I like this fountain over here. It's actually beautiful, as you can see. And pretty busy today in Ayala Triangle. Sunday evening, but a lot of people chilling in the park and playing sport. Here you see what's going on. See, busy family, a lot of families out here. There's even people dressed up like anime characters. So I love it out here. I gave you a little bit of the inside of what's going on. And that's a festival over there, nothing crazy, but super chill. Like I say, it goes all the way into the nighttime. So maybe in the nighttime, when it gets dark, people come out here because Ayala Triangle Park gets actually beautiful in the nighttime. They lit up the streets, they lit up the lights of the park, and it's a different vibe. I did enjoy the beer festival that they had here like a week or 2 weeks ago. That was awesome because they had cerveza, if you're a fan of beer, and then it was like a good demographic, like 40% of the people out there, they were foreigners, and then the Pinoys, and it was just like a great vibe. So that proves you everything that you can find in the city out here. So this is actually funny because in Las Vegas, they got a tower that's called the Stratosphere, and I just realized they got one right here in Makati. It seems like it's a hotel, I think, or residence building. Makati is known for the residential buildings, hotels. A lot of the expats, when they travel or when they visit the Philippines and they stay a little bit in Metro Manila, they stay out here in Makati. So I'm just walking around circles so that way I can merge into Ayala Avenue and walk all the way back. Probably to one Ayala, and then there are catch a grab back home. Here's where they got the street food stalls. Usually they open on the weekdays when people work out here. You see the streets, but because like I say, it's Sunday, you're not gonna see it busy. Usually it's gonna be in the weekday. But it's a very different vibe for Bonifacio Global City. It kind of has like the similar vibe as Ortiga Center. You don't see really much stores. The stores are gonna be literally like in the malls because they got like 4 or 5 big mega malls over here. But mostly when you go in the streets of Makati, it's mostly residential buildings. And then in the main avenue, it's mostly financial buildings. So either people be living out here or people come from other parts of Metro Manila to work, like in Ayala Avenue and some of the major financial buildings out here in Makati. You can see what I'm talking about. See, just long residential buildings, then coffee shops or a couple of business units. And the first level, I could do a block or another one, then turn back into Ayala. Now, the good thing about these major malls is I can walk and connect from one to another one. Like I can enter Glorieta, connect to SM Makati, then end up in one Ayala without having to exit outside. So I think that's what I'm gonna do later when I wrap up the video. Because also underneath one Ayala, they got a bus station, like big, and it will take you to many areas around here in Manila. And here we get again, beautiful Ayala Avenue. You can see how different it is from the regular streets. The regular streets is mostly residences, but then main avenue like this, a couple of restaurants, banks, and then mostly financial offices. So like I say in one of my previous videos I was filming in Makati, this is kind of like the heart of the Philippines. Some of the most important financial areas of the Philippines are here in this avenue, in this neighborhood right here. Not only that, living in the city, like in Metro Manila, also can kind of remind me of back home. Might be another reason why I chose it. Of course, you move to a different country, you got to adjust and try to live different, But yeah, living around here kind of reminds me when I was living in Jersey City, bordering right New York City. Like it has a little bit of that vibe and exploring many neighborhoods without having to own a car. And it keeps going, I tell you, it literally looks like a bit of Fifth Avenue in New York City. But we are in the Philippines. So I think over here, I'm gonna start wrapping up my video. Just a little short walk and talk video explaining why did I chose out of all the places in the Philippines to live out here in Metro Manila instead of the province. And I think this explains you why. I just love it out here. I love the city life. I love the action, you know, but I'm gonna be exploring other areas around here and other parts of the Philippines. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there. Everybody, God bless y'all and peace.